We are here with Nick Pisciottano, who is serving Senate District 45 in the state Senate. So you are coming from the House into the Senate. What motivated you to make this switch?
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's wonderful to be here. So I served for 4 Houses in the Pennsylvania House, 4 years in the Pennsylvania House representing House District 38 in suburban Allegheny County here outside of Pittsburgh. My predecessor in the Senate, Senator Jim Brewster, had served for 14 years. So when he decided to retire, I felt that using my experience and a relatively fresh perspective in Harrisburg, I could go to the state Senate and advocate on a larger scale for Allegheny County.
What motivated you to get into public service?
It's kind of an unusual story. So I worked as a CPA for 8.5 years before I was first elected to the House. Not a lot of CPAs in Harrisburg, even though the majority of what the General Assembly does is related to the state budget. And so I have lived in my community. My family has lived in this area for a very long time. And it just was an opportunity that presented itself when the previous House member retired. And I decided to take a shot at it as a relatively young person, but someone who had experience in finance and had worked with some of the largest companies in the world. And it kind of snowballed from there, and I was elected in November of 2020 for the first time.
What are some priorities you have for your time serving in the Senate?
So in the House, I served 2 years in minority and 2 years in majority. And so I was largely focused on crafting bipartisan legislation to address issues that my constituents face every day. A lot of those things are economic. And so focusing on how we can keep costs down from utilities to groceries, focusing on making sure that workers have rights in their workplaces and those are protected on the state level, in addition to federal protections. I spent a lot of time working with Chairman Rob Matzey and Chairman Jim Marshall on the Consumer Protection Committee in the House on things like junk fees, utility shutoffs, things that really matter to working families in my constituency. And so I hope to take a lot of that over with me to the Senate and continue to build bipartisan coalitions behind these common sense ideas that affect all Pennsylvanians. And so we've been successful in getting some issues done recently and hope to continue that in the Senate as well.
Besides your background in finance, is there anything else you think the people of Pennsylvania should know about you?
I think I'm maybe the 5th youngest member of the General Assembly now. I'm the 2nd youngest in the Senate. I'm only 34 years old, and so I have a young family. And I think that brings a different perspective to Harrisburg, not just my background being different, but the fact that I'm a younger member with a young family. We understand the issues that are facing working families in Pennsylvania because we live them. And I think that that's an important perspective in the state Senate and the General Assembly writ large.
Nick Pisciottano, Senator from Senate District 45, thank you for your time.
Thank you.